2024 Ballon d'Or French football winner is Rodrigue.
Vinicius Jr. is a victim of this Ballon d'Or coup which they had organized in order for them to disqualify him. And you'll be surprised if you find the name of the mastermind behind all this and how did they plan the whole scenario. In order for you to understand this very well, watch this.
The other wild news yesterday was the Ballon d'Or ceremony, which got really weird before it even started because all along we had thought that Vinicius Jr. was the favorite, and then yesterday morning again news broke that he was not going to win this award and that he would not be attending the ceremony in Paris. In fact, the entire Real Madrid team did not show up for this, despite the fact that Carlo Ancelotti won Manager of the Year and Real Madrid won Team of the Year.
But this morning they decided it was not worth it to go because they believe Vinicius should be the winner. And they said that they're not going to go, or they're not flying because they're not being respected. I believe they mean UEFA and also the organization of the Ballon d'Or. And they ask press and fans, if not Vinicius, why not Dani Carvajal?
I never think of winning a Ballon d'Or, but the last years I think I perform in the highest level of football, and the people that vote consider that they were romantic about the football I did, so very pleased.
This is very scandal. This is very shameful. This is so disgraceful to see on how people refusing to give someone something which it is more obvious to the eyes of everyone that is the rightful person who deserves to take this Ballon d'Or. And here we are talking about Vinicius Jr., who was well qualified because we all know that is the right person who's supposed to have this Ballon d'Or. Of course, Rodrigue, who took this Ballon d'Or, is one of the best players, and like it or not, he deserves to be among the top 5 players who were in the list of this Ballon d'Or. But comparing him to Junior, you'll see that it does not even make sense at all. Because we all know very well that the winner of this Ballon d'Or, the man who deserved to win this Ballon d'Or, was Vinicius Jr. Because everyone could see it and prove to that before they called for the name of the winner of this Ballon d'Or, the whole people who were seated over there, they were calling the name of Vinicius Jr.
Before Rodri was announced as the winner of the Ballon d'Or 2024, the crowd loudly chanted the name of Vinicius, who was not present at the ceremony today.
Suspense, everyone. Let's hear George.
The 2024
because they believe he was the rightful winner of this Ballon d'Or, isn't it? When I see the name of Rodrigue being called as the winner of the 2024 Ballon d'Or, well, I start questioning myself loudly and trying to find out why not Vinicius Jr. Why did not call his name? Well, I end up finding out that no, Real Madrid, they had some serious problem with the UFA, the team management. They have a serious conflict with these organizations. And what is the UFA representing all this? We all know that people who are voting for this so-called winner of the Ballon d'Or, they usually be part of the UFA members. And then seeing on how the two organizations, Real Madrid and the UFA, could not be in the same page, you can tell already what will be the outcome of this Ballon d'Or. But what will surprise you even the most is for the fact that the man who's number one in charge of these organizations, the man who's supposed to be as the referee, the man who's supposed to be in the middle center to give this Ballon d'Or to the rightful owner, well, he seemed to be having some kind of negative thoughts to what the man called Vinicius Jr. because he believed that he's not a fair player. Wow. According to him, he believes so. And he seemed to be having serious conflict with the player because for him he believed that he does not have that qualities compared to other players. Guys, now, you know, I always tell people that football, it is just like politics. Because football and politics, they are actually in the same marriage. They operate in the same way. They do speak the same language. And if you look very well, football players, how they behave through their social medias, how they get to address certain kind of matters, how do they speak out or comment when it comes to certain things which has to do with politics. They usually have what we call a diplomat language. Because if you can't have that diplomat language, they'll use you as a victim, as they do in politics. They'll use you and they will dump you because they'll see that you don't seem to be following the protocols. In football world, there is that diplomacy protocols as much we have in politics. Let me try to explain this more. If you see in footballs, whenever there's a big event, you'll see the president of a republic, you'll see the diplomats, governors, deputy presidents, people who are in power. Of course, including even most powerful church leaders, they do participate in these events. Do you know why? Not because they do watch soccer and they love soccer, or maybe they are fan of one or two team which are participating in these so-called competitions. But it is because politics and footballs, it works the same. So if you are a football player and then you don't seem to follow up the protocols on how to address certain matters, you must know that you will create what we call inside enemies. And once you create these inside enemies, they are the one who will use their influence through their diplomats in order for them to take you down. Okay? Now, back to what I was talking about Junior. We all know that this player is very genius. This player is very wonderful. He does a very good work over there in Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, we all know that they are involved, or they are having some pending business with the UFA as organizations. And as I said again, this UFA, it is representing politics in other world, actually in the world of football. And what they do here now is that they want to make Vinicius Jr. to be as a sacrifice, which they have to crucify him in order for them to make the Real Madrid leadership or management to pay for what they have done or whatsoever they're having as a conflict with the UFA. Now, in order for them to do that, of course, the name of the Real Madrid player is right there. And when everyone is expecting that, no, is the one who's going to take it, boom, here they comes with another surprise to mention the name of someone else, Rodriguez, who's the player of Manchester City. As I said earlier on in the beginning of this video, that the guy is not bad at all. He's good. But when we have to take him and to comparing him to Vinicius Jr., you will see that they are not in the same level. They are not in the same level, and we all know what it takes for someone to win a Ballon d'Or. You know, come to think of it, this actually is reminding me of what had happened when they deny Mo Salah, the Liverpool player who's from Egypt. They deny him a Ballon d'Or, all just because he was from Africa continent. And we know that these things has been happening for some times now. For many years, if we have to remove people such as George Weah, we remove this one as Kalusha Bwaya, you will see that Africans, we never had that much chance to win this so-called Ballon d'Ors. They kind of like keeping it within the Europe borders. They don't want it to go anywhere else. A little bit in Argentina with Messi, because there were no way they could have denied Messi's right. And beside that, the color of Messi, it plays also a role. But when it comes to Africans, they were kind of like always blocking. They will rather mention or nominate the name of African players who are doing good in Europe leagues. They will nominate their names. But to call out their names as the win of this Ballon d'Or, they were not doing it. We have many players. Didier Drogba is supposed to be one of the people who supposed to be having a Ballon d'Or. We have this one, this player from Senegal who used to play for Liverpool, now is playing for Bayern Munich. Mane, is it Mane? Yes, him also. The guy was very good. They deny him that. But when these players, they come in Africa, of course, they will always be the number one to take whatsoever it's there as a trophy of the best African players. But when they go in Europe, they were denied all this right. Do you know why? This back to what I'm telling you guys, that in footballs, you must be aware that footballs with politics, it works the same. If you accept that fact, and then you are having a good diplomacy toward other countries, other football clubs or whatsoever, you see that things will go good for you in your advantage. Let me try to explain more. Let's say, for an example, if your manager or the president of your team is having a lot of influence among your country, its politicians, if it's well known by presidents of CAF or FIFA, if you have those kind of friendship, you will see that everything will be more easy for you. You will see that you can't go 3 years in a row without you winning a trophy. Why? Because the diplomacy which politicians have to come with their influence to impose on the diplomacy of football, it will make things work even more easy for you. But if that does not apply, then you must know that something's not okay somewhere there. And that's the reason why you see a lot of Africans could not get a chance to develop in Europe and to collect all these big trophies. Is it all about Ballon d'Or or any other trophies in Europe? No. Let me give a very simple example. Let's take the FIFA World Cup. How many times have you had African team reaching even in the top 5? I remember in 2010, the former president of FIFA, he had to come and say that since this World Cup is organized in Africa continent, if one of African team managed to reach the semi-final, they are going to increase the number of African teams to start participating in the World Cup. And when that opportunity shows up, it took them how long in order for them to apply it? And why did not apply it all this time? Of course, it's because our leaders in the world of politics, they were not negotiating properly with these people. And that's the reason why you find countries of Europe, there are so many of them in this competition. And in Africa, we're only having like 5 teams only, or 4 or 5, yeah, 4. And these teams, most of them, they get eliminated in the first phase. Why? Because something's wrong somewhere there. We can't say that Africans, we don't have that enough much talent in order for us to take over these trophies. Because if you look even in their leagues, Most of players who are shining, who are doing very good in these footballs, they are Africans. They're the one who play good footballs. They're the one who make other players become stars. But when it comes to African teams, they have to always fail because there is something which has to do with the diplomacy. And that is the reason why you see everything which has to do with Africans in this world, we are not well being treated. We don't have that better considerations when it comes to this country, the way they see us. That is another way of showing that Africa, we still being slave, or they are slaving us in every way possible. Whether it is through economy, whether it is through sports, whether it is through soccer, call it as you wish. Follow all these things one by one. You will see the kind of impact Africans we have in terms of being professionals, and you will see on how the kind of treatment we're receiving from these people when it comes for them to give Africans trophies. So, whether we like it or not, we should know that as we are entering in all these competitions, in all these leagues, we must know that we need to have a strong diplomacy, which has to be associated with politics in order for you to defend yourself and stand on your own out there. Otherwise, you'll be seen like nothing. You'll be used and dumped at the same time. This Ballon d'Or, there's no doubt, everyone that's talking about it, the winner of this Ballon d'Or, it was this boy Junior. But unfortunately, they deny him that, and they have to give it to someone else. That one, it is because Real Madrid failed. I'm referring to the Real Madrid management failed to use their diplomacy with their political diplomacy in order for them to influence that there should not be cheating. Because what we are seeing here, it is a pure cheating. Refusing to mention the name of Vinicius Jr. to the one of Rodriguez, it is a pure cheating in the open sky that everyone could see. So, what will happen now? What will happen next? Because this same Real Madrid, after being beaten by Barcelona 4-0 at home, after having such kind of embarrassment, the only thing which was gonna console all the Real Madrid fans around the world was for this boy Junior to win this Ballon d'Or. But for the fact that he failed to win it, you can just have an idea on how Real Madrid fans around the world are so devastated at the moment. So that is how things work. This has nothing to do with the Vinicius Junior, whether he did not do his job properly or not. They can raise up some criticism saying that no, he's an egoist, he does not want to share the ball, sometimes he messes up on the field, sometimes he does this and that, but the guy is still good. For his name to stand there among the top three, of course, because the guy is good. But the problem now is the candidates which are next to him, comparing to him, is the man which everyone will see that no, is the winner. And we were all expecting for the UFA to announce his name. Those judges who had voted over there, they should have voted the same, in the same way as the whole entire world had voted for. But just to show that there's a pure corruption and there's a pure cheating among all this, that is how they end up calling for the name of someone else who did not deserve to win this Ballon d'Or. So, if you're in this world, you must just know that politics, footballs, sports, it works together. If you are a celebrity, you are a soccer player, to show you that these things have a very big impact on how it operates together, right? You can't go out there in your social media and start talking nonsense. You can't be seen in the public and then, have you seen some of these celebrities when they are walking somewhere, they don't just speak to any kind of cameras or any kind of journalist. They rather prefer to keep quiet because they know each and every word that comes from their mouth, it will have a very big impact either to their careers or either it will come with the impact of even destroying them. Why? Because they know very well that whatsoever it comes from their mouth, it is something that people, they will take it or they will understand it in different ways. So they can understand it in a good way that can work in your advantage, or they can understand it in a very bad way that can destroy you. So this is a pure injustice that we just experienced in this 2024 Ballon d'Or. It is a pure injustice, all just because the UFA, they want to punish Real Madrid and then they take it out on them. Guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video until now. We really do appreciate your time, because it was very important that we come here and also try to give you our point of view on what we just all experienced through this Ballon d'Or in 2024. So therefore, we are inviting you to feel free to give us also your opinions in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Are we getting all this wrong, or do you think we are actually right concerning this winner of Ballon d'Or? So feel free to share your opinion with us. Tell us, according to you, who deserved to win this Ballon d'Or, and according to you, where do you think things went wrong in order for this young boy to not be able to be the winner of this Ballon d'Or? Share your opinion. We'll really do appreciate that. But above all, don't leave this video without you giving us your thumbs up. We'll really do appreciate that. So please feel free to give us your thumbs up. We're looking forward to that. And if this is your first time to watching us and you'd like to find more from us, well, it's very simple. You just have to subscribe to the channel so that whenever we are live here, you'll be able to be part of our conversation. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.